Nation, coffee and convo, Hangover Saturday. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building, man. You guys know what time it is. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raiders. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for spending your Saturday with me. Make sure you wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet. What's good, man? I see Green Dot in the gang. I see everybody here in the building. Make sure if you want to join Green Dot Gang, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It's definitely one of the best ways to support what we do over here. Once again, man, shout out to all you guys. Heartbreaker last night. I mean, a lot of us are kind of conflicted, right? It's like we understand, the process of losing right now in order to locate our quarterback, but like to lose in heartbreaking fashion against the Kansas City Chiefs, knowing that you could have beat probably 1 or 2, 1A, 1B with the Detroit Lions, best team in the league. Kind of sucks, right? Especially coming down to that last second situation where we botched it, even though the refs definitely threw the towel in on us as well. We're going to talk about that here in a second also. Salute to Sir Dre, ready for my Notre Dame today. Yes, I am excited about the Fighting Irish and USC game tonight. We're going to be covering that as well, you guys. We're going to do WWE Survivor Series tonight, and we're going to cover some of the Notre Dame USC game. So stay tuned for that. We will be doing the St. Jude's charity fundraiser tonight. So the majority of the proceeds that we make tonight, I think it starts 6 Eastern, 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific. We will be doing that for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. We're going to be putting up a Cash App if you guys want the money to directly go, or if you guys send supers, we're going to have to wait until the 22nd of the month until the YouTube money goes through in order to distribute it to St. Jude's. So there's going to be a few different ways you can do this tonight. So if you guys want to come through, support the kids, great cause. We do this annually where we support St. Jude's. It's definitely one of my favorite charities to support the Children's Hospital, man. So if you guys are around, definitely please pull in. $1 counts, 50 cent counts. It doesn't matter. Whatever you guys donate, it definitely helps the children over there at St. Jude. So salute to Dinah. AOC 4 was looking good out there under a new OC. Well, we got to call him AOC 12 now, Dinah, right? And yeah, he definitely looked good out there. I mean, the kid threw for over 300 yards, 340 to be exact. He was sacked 3 times, 2 touchdowns, didn't have a pick, even though a few of those footballs should have been some picks on the Kansas City side, but I'm okay with it. 23 for 35, phenomenal game, man. And I believe I seen a stat and I retweeted it. Let me find this real quick because I want to make sure that I don't butcher this. This is an interesting fact on Aiden O'Connell and that Kansas City defense. Let me bring it up real quick. Let me see right here. Salute to James over here on Twitter. I retweeted this. No QB in the NFL has thrown for over 300 yards versus Kansas City this year. Not Josh Allen, not Joe Burrow, not Brock Purdy, not Justin Herbert, not Lamar Jackson, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, nor Derek Carr. Aiden O'Connell is the first of the season to throw for over 300 yards on one of the best defenses in the NFL. That's interesting, right? And I know a lot of people may say, well, tape and blah, blah. Look, man, Aiden has played against this team before. You know what I mean? They know what Aiden can do. They know what he can't do. They know his pros. They know his cons. They know his strengths. They know his weaknesses. So for Aiden to go out there and throw for 340 in the air, 2 touchdowns and no picks. That is definitely something that you have to champion Aiden O'Connell for. That was phenomenal, a phenomenal effort from our young pup, Aiden O'Connell, especially coming fresh off the IR with that hand injury, man. Definitely something to build on for the future. I love what Big Mike says. AO12 is going to be a phenomenal backup for us for years to come. Thank you, God. Yeah, definitely can keep him around. I was actually, talking about potentially this might be the last that we see of Aiden O'Connell. Now, if he continues this for the rest of the season, the next 5 games, Big Mike, I have to be real, man. You're onto something here. I do believe that Aiden will at least come in and fight for that backup spot, whether it's behind a Shedeur or a Cam Ward or whoever it is that we pick in next year's draft. So salute to my brother, man. Salute to Joey. Yes, you're right. Great job, but he needs to do that consistently. Facts. Vegas Raiders says AOC thread the needle a few times. He did. But the one thing that was on full display yesterday, right? And I love that hug. Just literally great minds, brother. Great minds. The deep ball was on full display. Found Jacoby. Found Trey Tucker. Found Brock. He was letting that thing fly yesterday, you guys. That's what we need out of our young quarterback. That's what we need out of any quarterback, is a guy that can, beat up the field in short distance, but also let that shit fly. And Trey Tucker was definitely doing his thing. Jacoby, Brock Bowers, all 3 of those guys did their Dougie yesterday against that stout Kansas City defense. Let me see. Right now, definitely. He's definitely our number 1 running back right now. And 12 carries for over 60 yards. You have to feed him. There's no reason in the world, 24, that Sincere shouldn't have at least, I'll say 16, 17, 18 carries alone against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I have him going for 100 yards. This may be a hot take. I have him going for 100 yards against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road next Sunday. I'm telling y'all now, Sincere can be one of them ones. I was just talking to him in the DM a few seconds ago, telling him how proud of him I was. Man, I love to see Sincere's development, finally get an opportunity and taking advantage of the opportunities, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful sight to see. Salute to my guy, All In, Autumn Wind. If you guys don't subscribe to my guy, man, make sure you guys subscribe to my dog. He goes to every single game and interviews the fan bases. One of the greatest Raider fans out there. Classy, class act. Salute to my guy, All In, Autumn Wind. What up, Graphk? The atmosphere in Arrowhead yesterday was insane. I can only imagine, bro. I can only imagine, man. Salute to you, bro, for still out there traveling with the team, even though we're 2-10. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you, man. Still going out there, spending your hard-earned money to go out and cover our team. That is you deserve way more flowers this season, man, for the actions that you put on display, man, following this team across the country, man. So salute to you, my brother. Yeah, Ayo was moving outside that pocket too. Definitely, Graham. It was on full display yesterday, man. It was on full display. There was a few plays that, we wish we can get back, right? But I mean, well, he's a second-year guy, 4th-round pick out of Purdue. There's going to be some learning curve here, right? But I agree with you, man. AOC was moving around. There was one play, I believe, didn't he even run for a first down? I believe it got called back on a penalty, though. But could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, man, I'm excited about Aiden and what he did yesterday, man. Salute to DeMarcus. Talk that shit, Graphk, sincerely. I see what you did there, brother. I see what you did there. Salute to my guy, man. Salute to my guy. I want my money, and I want it right now. Look, you guys, I'm not going to be here, week in and week out, telling you guys, I was right. You know what I'm saying? Like about Sincere McCormick, but I was right. And it's only going to get better if you keep feeding him. Keep feeding him. It's only going to go up from here. I'm telling y'all now, he is the best option as that workhorse back that we have on this roster. Over Zeus, over Alexander Madison. Continue to feed the young pup. There's not a lot of tread on those wheels. Keep feeding Sincere McCormick, 2nd-year guy, UDFA, Texas San Antonio. You love to see the kid out there making moves. And I'm telling y'all now, man, I have this kid making this roster next year and potentially being that running back 2 behind, whatever running back that we go get in next year's draft and potentially fighting for that number 1 spot. He's that talented. Yeah, Manny, I'm always wrong when it comes to my brother Wasted, man, but we can go back to some of these shows. Sincere McCormick, I've championed him since day one. We can go back to these drafts where I've talked about players and, so on and so forth. I actually called to Aiden O'Connell going to the Raiders too. I have to put that out there. I may have to go find that snippet and upload it. You know, I may have to do that. I love that, Jason. He said Norv was on the couch drawing up plays for Bowers. You definitely see the difference here, Jason, right? With the Turners in control, man. There's a lot of we talked about it before. Even Stu brought it up on one of our shows. The motioning, you know, the play calling is it's just more fluent. And you're seeing a lot of these guys unlocking their full potential. You're seeing Jacoby right now, to be honest, you guys. This may be a hot take. You see Jacoby right now becoming a star right in front of our eyes. Everybody always, you know, most underrated wide receiver in the NFL. You know, he could do it all, block, you know, great route runner, you know, so on and so forth. This guy has had back-to-back weeks. He had over 100 yards last week. He had 98 yards, I believe, in the air this week. I believe it was 98, right? Somewhere along those lines, 97. So, I mean, this technically back-to-back weeks where he's had 100 yards with Brock Bowers doing what he is doing. That's insane. To have almost 100 yards with Brock having 140 in the air, that's phenomenal, man. That's phenomenal. So salute to Jacoby Myers. We're going to get some game balls here in a second. I'm definitely giving one to Jacoby. Simple and plain. He deserves all the flowers in the world. Salute to JT. First round QB plus Aiden would be a sweet combo. Facts, man. Facts. Facts plus tax. And JT, we're at number 2 right now behind the Giants. We know that they're in the market for a quarterback. They just moved on from Daniel Jones. You know, Drew Lock went out there and lost to the Dallas Cowboys. They have a terrible roster right now, though, man. They're kind of sitting everybody. Dexter Lawrence out for the season. They're in the market. You know, Tommy DeVito's not the guy. You know, Drew Lock's not the guy. They're going to end up getting a Cam Ward or a Shedeur Sanders or one of those top guys. But I definitely agree with you. Whoever we bring in, you know, keep Aiden on the roster next year if he continues to play the way he's playing right now. If he continues to play the way he's playing these next 5 games, there's no reason. You know, he's on a rookie deal anyway. It doesn't cost anything, right? But you want to have the best competition in that room. You want whoever it is that is going to be the backup to the rookie. If the rookie is going to play day one, you want that guy to test this guy. And, you know, is it Aiden? We shall see. Is it another veteran guy that we bring in? We've done this in recent memory. You bring in Gardner Minshew to challenge. He shits the bed. You bring in Jimmy G. He shits the bed. You bring in Brian Hoyer. He shits the bed. Is it going to be a veteran or is it going to be a young guy, Aiden in year 3 next year versus a guy in year 1? We shall see. To be determined, but I'm excited. I'm excited, man. Salute to Raider Ryan. You missed my comment. I don't even know what comment it was, my brother. My apologies. The chat is flowing today. Let me see. Boom. Nation, to the best chat and Raiders podcast in the world. With a season like this we are having, it's a blessing to have this pod to cope with this shit. Thank you, brother. Thank you for allowing me and my platform to be a coping mechanism for the nation. And thank you guys for just listening to me rant and complain and bitch every day. I appreciate every single one of you guys, especially those watch parties. I know it's kind of tough, man, watching watch parties for 4 or 5 hours. And, you know, we're not really excited about this team and kind of in a way, you know, most of us fans, let's just keep it a buck here, you guys. We're okay with losing, right? We're okay with losing. Like, you know, we understand what's going on now. The Chiefs clinched a playoff berth yesterday. We were officially eliminated yesterday. Literally, same day. Chiefs clinch, we're eliminated. We understand what is at stake here. You do not want to lose any draft capital in terms of standings, you know, in order to identify your quarterback. But let's keep it a buck here. If we would have beat the Chiefs last night, we would have all celebrated. Now, maybe that high would have came down a little bit in the next few days. Like, damn, what are we doing? But I have to keep it a buck, y'all. If Aiden continues to play the way he's playing right now, we're going to win a few of these games. I got to keep it real here. If Aiden looks like he did against the Kansas City Chiefs, against Tampa, they're struggling. We can beat them. They have a shit ton of injuries. The New Orleans Saints, you know, they're 4-7 right now. We play them at the end of December. We can beat them. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons have been an up and down team. We can beat them. There's a lot of games. Jacksonville, you know, they're struggling. They're there in the top 3 with us. There is like 3 or 4 winnable games here in the next few weeks that we can potentially win. So, you know, and if that happens, then you kind of look back at the Kansas City game like, damn, I wish we would have pulled through with that one. At least if we're going to pull off a 4 or 5 game, you know, season, you know, it would kind of suck that we lost this one, especially in the nature, in the way we lost this game. It's just nasty work, man. Salute to my guy, Brave. Rick in the building. Our new head coach next year could be on the other sideline, and Liam Cohen. What do you think? I'm gonna say this, man. It's interesting because some people were stating that if we would have beat Kansas City last night, that AP's job would be safe, right? Nobody really truly knows behind the scenes what's going on in terms of what will keep AP safe or not. Let me just state this. We're 2-10 right now. We played the Kansas City Chiefs very close this past week. That Broncos game got out of hand a little bit, but it was pretty close there for a while as well. These past few losses since we moved on from Luke Getsy haven't really been extreme. The Miami Dolphins game was closer even than what the end result states, right? The score. I'm not going to be shocked, you guys, if AP is the guy next year. I know that Deion Sanders has championed AP. I know that Shedeur and those guys have a respect level for him. I wouldn't be shocked. And to be honest, at 2-10, if AP wasn't fired yet, it's kind of interesting to see if he kind of knows, his job is safe for next year. There are a few guys on this coaching staff that reached out to us. We talked, me and Stu, we've talked behind the scenes where they're like, well, our job is safe. We're good. So that makes me kind of wonder, and I'm not saying they were talking about AP specifically. I'm just stating that some coaches were told that they were safe behind the scenes. So at that point, I think kind of all bets are off that if they're cool, AP may be cool. But it will be interesting if things change in the offseason, if Tom Brady and Tom Telesco and Mark have a conversation and they all decide and go in a different way and kind of relieving a lot of these guys of their duties and moving on. So we shall see. We shall see. I know a lot of people are screaming, we need some continuity. We need somebody that can be here for a few years and try to turn this thing around, the Dan Campbell effect, what he did in Detroit, and so on and so forth. The thing is, you guys, it's not easy to identify a Ben Johnson. It's just not. It's not. Like, those kind of guys don't come around every single year. It's very tough to find a guy like that, to have those kind of drafts. You look at Detroit, right? And I love Ben Johnson. I think he's going to be great anywhere that he goes. But you look at that roster and the way it's lined up, it's just, he has a nasty roster to play with. I mean, you got Sam Laporta, one of the better tight ends in the league. You have probably the best running back duo in Gibbs and Montgomery. You have a phenomenal wide receiving core in J-Mo, St. Brown. The list goes on. You got Tim Patrick out there now playing, playing really well for them. They have a great offensive line. They have a lot in Detroit for Ben Johnson to work with. So, once again, great drafting. That year when they got Gibbs and they got Jack Campbell in year one, they got J-Mo, they have drafted really well. We have to find a way to stack up some of these drafts the way we did last year. We got Brock, JPJ, DJ Glaze, 3 starters, back-to-back rounds. We have to stack those kind of drafts in order to look like a team that the Detroit Lions have put out there. They got Aiden Hutchinson, they got Branch. They have drafted a lot of those guys, and then they go out there and they bring in, who is it? Is it Zaire? Who is it? The pass rusher that they just brought in from Green Bay that they traded for. I believe it was him, right? Didn't they trade for a pass rusher out there in Green Bay? And he had, I believe, 2 or 3 sacks on Thanksgiving. What's the name I'm looking for right now, you guys? I'm drawing a blank here. But you guys know exactly who I'm speaking about. It's not Zaire. It's Za'Darius Smith. There you have it. So, Detroit is very competitive right now, and their Super Bowl window is wide open. Last year, NFC Championship. This year, I have them as the Super Bowl favorites. So they have an extremely talented roster, and it's not easy to find those guys like a Ben Johnson. And if Ben Johnson leaves, he'll probably end up going to Chicago. He'll probably end up going to Jacksonville. He may go somewhere else with already a roster kind of already there. It's going to be interesting if we can locate some type of offensive coordinator that can show us some type of levels of what Ben Johnson is providing for that Detroit offense. And we already have some people there, you guys. We already have Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker. We have JPJ. We have DJ Glaze. We have Colton Miller, who's starting to get stronger now on the left side. We have a talented roster. You got to go get another running back or two. Maybe add a T. Higgins or one of those type of guys, wide receiver 1 in free agency, or even add one in the middle rounds. We have an extremely talented offense. We have some of the same pieces on the defense. We just need some guys that come help mold this talent and bring out the best in them. And I don't know if AP as a head coach can identify a D coordinator and an offensive coordinator to come in and do that. I don't know. Can he? We shall see. We shall see. I'm kind of just ranting right now, y'all. But yeah, it's very hard to find those kind of guys, the Ben Johnsons of the world, and so on and so forth. Salute to JT. Bro, we have had the Chiefs put their name in our end zone and win a Super Bowl in our building. It don't get any worse than that shit. JT, this is facts. They celebrated a Super Bowl win in our locker room. It's nasty work. It really doesn't get any worse than that. At this point, that rivalry really isn't even a rivalry. It's nasty work. Beat us twice this year, got us once last year, won it in our building. Yeah, it's disgusting, man. Salute to JT. Salute to Two Stock, my dog. Appreciate you, brother. I was wrong about AOC, Travis Hunter in the first round. It's going to be interesting because I'm telling you now, man, if Tom Telesco has his way, he loves best player available. Best player available. So I would not be shocked, Two Stock, if you went and got a Travis Hunter. And I love what Gruden put out there today. If you guys follow him on Twitter, he just signed with a Barstool. Salute to John Gruden, our former head coach, 2-time former head coach for the Raiders. He put it out there that he said, we drafted Charles Woodson at 4. And there was a ton of talent there when they took C. Wood because he was that talented. And he pretty much stated that Travis Hunter is kind of like the next Charles Woodson in that tweet. So can you pass that up? Can you pass that kind of talent up there at 1, 2, or 3 if, let's just say, the 2 teams that potentially are in front of us or the 1 team in front of us take Shedeur Sanders? Can you pass up on a Travis Hunter? Will we trust Tom Telesco and Tom Brady to identify another quarterback in this draft that you could potentially get in the second round, like a Carson Beck or a Jackson Dart or a Drew Allar or one of those type of guys? It's going to be difficult, but it will be tough to pass up on a generational type talent in Travis Hunter. It will be, even with the dire need for a quarterback. It is. It's tough. It's tough, but I can see it. I can see them going to get a guy, like I said, a Drew Allar, a Rourke out of Indiana, and having Aiden, there, bringing a Sam Darnold, to be that bridge guy for a year and go out there with the Travis Hunter. I don't know if you play him at corner. I personally would play him at corner. You can play him both sides if you want, but at the NFL level, I think he'd be hurt pretty quick if you do that. But it's going to be interesting, man. That's a tough talent to pass up with in the draft. It just is. Even with those 2 quarterbacks on the board, Shedeur and Cam, Travis Hunter, to me, you guys, is probably the most sure thing in this draft. Sure thing. Him and Ashton Genty, to me, are 1A and 1B with the most sure thing in the draft. Those guys are going to be next level at the next level. It just is what it is. Salute to Cap. According to the rankings, the Raiders got the 14th best defense in the league, and that's with all the injuries. The season was lost because we had a certified ding-a-ling like Getsy ruining the offense. Well, think of it like this, Cap, right? Let's just say Getsy wasn't there. Let's just say that the Turners took over in week 2, week 3. We moved on from them. It's still going to be tough because you're still going to be there in the middle of the pack. In terms of the draft, in terms of drafting, yeah, we fell in. Brock Bowers essentially fell into our laps last year, right? Do you want to draft again in that 10 to 14 range when you could potentially get a generational top guy in this draft? If Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, or Cam Ward, I don't think we take a running back like Genty that early. But I'm just stating the obvious here. Do you want to miss out on potential generational talent there at the top of this draft just for a couple wins? Let's just say that Norv and Scott were there this entire season, and Gardner wasn't the guy, and Aiden was the guy, and everything went right. Honestly, you guys, we probably win 6 or 7 games anyways. And then you're pretty much out of the hunt for these top guys in next year's draft, and you got to figure out where you're going to go next. I'm okay with having a mulligan this season. You know what I mean? And kind of looking the way we are looking. I don't like that some of these games not some of them, most of the games were ugly, the way we lost, game management. There was a lot of things that we should be upset about the way this team has performed, the coaching staff, so on and so forth. It's been a tough year watching this team because the football has been so bad. Now, these past few weeks, they're starting to show little signs of life, but I'm not going to give this team too much credit, you guys. I understand that the Turners have helped this offense, look a little bit more exciting and a little more productive, but back-to-back weeks, you have 19 points and you have 17 points. We have not put up over 20 points with the Turners calling the offense. I know there's some injuries there, but let's just be honest. We're probably better without Zamir. We're probably better without our number one running back, right? Alexander Madison out. Now we finally get a chance to see Sincere McCormick. No knock to those guys, but we're probably better without those guys. And we're still not putting up over 20 points. So, look, is it a little bit more easier to watch? Is it a little bit more easier to root for? Definitely. But this team is still not a good team. This is still not, to me, a great OC in Scott Turner. Those 3 or 4 years where he was the offensive coordinator with the Commanders, I've said this on a few shows, they ranked in that 22 to 25 range pretty much every year. He never had a top 15 offense. He never had a top 20 offense at the NFL level. And, I know he has Norv in the building as well, and that helps. But this guy's never put out a great offense. And yes, he was coaching some of those bad Commanders teams. I understand that. But if you want to win, especially in the AFC West now, you guys, you have great offensive minds. You have a former quarterback in Jim Harbaugh. You have Sean Payton, that has won a Super Bowl with Drew Brees and has Bo Nix firing on all cylinders. You have a Andy Reid who's probably the greatest offensive mind of this generation. You have to keep up. You're not going to win in the AFC West with a Norv Turner and a Scott Turner as your offensive coordinator. It's not going to happen. Now, can we win with the AP? Probably, if he can identify the OC and bring in potentially an upgrade over even Patrick Graham, because 14th in defense. Look, I know what I'm seeing here, Cap. There's not enough takeaways. We're not getting to the quarterback enough. And I understand the injuries. I understand Jacorian's out. I understand Marcus Epps is going. I understand Christian Wilkins is out of there. I get it. There's so many injuries. It's tough to deal with. It's tough to overcome. But at the NFL level, these coaches understand you have to work with what you have. You know what I'm saying? And there's been a lot of missed opportunities on the defensive side of the ball to find ways to win some ball games. I'm just stating the obvious here. So, but we shall see. I just think, honestly, you have to have an upgrade over what we have calling the O. Regardless if Scott Turner and Norv make this an easier pill to swallow in terms of the offensive play calling, cool. But we got to get better. We got to get better. And I think that starts with trying to go find someone in the offseason who is an upgrade over both the Turners. And that's no knock to either one of those guys. Salute to Cap on a $10 special. I appreciate you, brother. Salute to everybody here in the building. Appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, as always, for pulling up the Coffee and Convo. Hangover Saturday, you guys. Once again, we will be live tonight also covering the Survivor Series WWE and covering the Notre Dame USC game. And it will be for a great cause, St. Jude's. If you guys can pull up 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, we will be live doing a charity, a fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I hope to see you guys all here pulling up, man, and supporting the movement, man. Let me see. Salute to Two Stock. Yeah, man. I mean, what is he now? Is he 22 for 26 or somewhere along those lines on the season? I believe he's somewhere along those lines, Two Stock. Outside of a few questionable moves from AP at the head coaching spot yesterday, and there was a few. Let's just keep it a buck here. That the end of that game was nasty. The timeout, where you decided on not punting and going out. It was very, very. There was a few situations with AP where I'm like, come on, man, you got to be kidding me. But Daniel Carlson lost that game for us. He lost that game for us. I understand that you're kicking over 50 yards, 3 times, right? 3 times in a row in 38-degree weather, I believe, in Kansas City on the road. With all that noise, it's a tough place to kick. But you get paid to do one job, Carlson. There's no way in any world you can miss 3 field goals and expect for this team to win ball games when we're already struggling to score anyways. You have to at least lock down 2 of them. I could have lived with 1 miss, two makes, because then essentially you win that ball game. So that definitely, we're going to talk about that here in a second, Two Star. We're going to give our game balls, and we're going to give away some what the fucks And just expect Daniel Carlson to be in the what the fuck category for sure. Salute to Wilder, my guy. Who's the hotel coach out there? The hotel coach. What do you mean, Wilder? Elaborate, brother. Elaborate. And salute to you for being a member for over 2 years. I appreciate you, bro. Jorge, should we take a chance on Shane Waldron? Hey, man, Shane Waldron was a highly respected offensive mind before going out to Chicago and shit in the bed, with Matt Uberflus in the building. They went out and got a bunch of weapons, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, they still got Cole Kmet and they went and drafted Roma Dunze. But that O-line has struggled. They thought that they had an upgrade in DeAndre Swift, which I do believe he's a major baller, but that offensive line can't block. How do you get the ground game going? I think Chicago's kind of going through some of the same things that we're going through in terms of their O-line situation, and so on and so forth. So I'm not against bringing in Shane if that's the move. I think that he has a lot to offer. I do believe that at one point he was a highly sought, offensive mind to come in, and they thought that he could be the dude to help Caleb Williams take that next step at the NFL level. So it'll be interesting to see if he comes up. But I mean, do you want to go back-to-back Chicago offensive coordinators? Do you really want to? I mean, do you want to go from Luke Getsy to Shane Waldron? I don't know. It's kind of scary to think about going from two guys that didn't make it work in Chicago. But that's definitely a name to keep an eye on in the offseason. Salute to Ron Justice, man. My dog gifting 20 OLV Raiders Network memberships. Salute to my dog, man. Appreciate you so much. Ron Justice, one of the GOATs over here at OLV, helping us keep the lights on over here at Shieldmore. Salute to all the new Green Dot gang in the building. Ron Justice, you are definitely a GOAT, my brother. I appreciate you. If you guys missed out on those 20, make sure to hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely helps us a lot over here, man, especially with this shit show of a season that we have where a lot of people in the nation are kind of giving up on the Raiders, everything Raider content related. Just want to say, Ron Justice, I appreciate you, brother. You said OC is what I meant. So what you were trying to say was, let me go back to the original comment. Who's the hot OC out there? It's still early right now, Wilder. I can't really give you a definitive answer because I don't know who's going to be available. I don't know who is going to leave the collegiate level and take the next jump to the NFL. I don't know if some guys are going to leave their respective organizations. It's too early to tell. We'll talk a lot about potential offensive coordinators once the season is up and we start seeing, people being available or some people taking interviews. We'll talk about that a lot more later on. But at this point, I don't really have a list of guys who are going to be available yet. I truly do not know. Salute to Wilder, man. Salute to John Forte. Wilkes from the Niners for DC is a no-brainer. He had that definite number one and held a defense number one and held KC in the Super Bowl till Greenlaw got injured or bring in Salah. The thing that's scary, Forte, is some of these guys, people don't realize. I had a conversation with my guy, Eric Crocker. For those who don't know Croc, salute to my guy, Croc. He covers the Niners for a living. He's a beat writer for him. He does podcasts for him. We did a live podcast in Las Vegas where we covered, what was it? I think it was the Raiders-Niners preseason game a year ago, right? And he told me something that was very interesting, John. He said that defense is essentially Shanahan's defense. That's his defense. So that's why some of these guys will leave the Niners and they won't be that, successful like the Robert Salah who got a head coaching job with the Jets and it didn't really work out. There's a lot of moving parts out there why it didn't work. I don't want to blame it all on him, but I'd be a little kind of up in the air with that because what he told me is Shanahan, that's his defense. So some of these guys come in and they pretty much just call Shanahan's defense. So how good are some of these defensive coordinators for the 49ers once they leave Shanahan and they don't have him pretty much feeding them the play calling? That's what I've heard. That's what my boy Croc told me. And I'm going to take that as biblical because Croc knows that team. He talks to those guys a lot. So I don't know. It'd be interesting. That's definitely a name to keep an eye on, but I would be kind of nervous a little bit to bring in one of those guys from the Niners, one of those coordinators, because essentially Shanahan runs the offense and that's his defense, which I didn't know at all. It was very, very crazy to learn that. Salute to Ron Justice, my dog, gifting 10 more OLV Raiders Network memberships. My dog is losing his mind today. I appreciate you, Ron Justice. Salute to all the new Green Dot Gang in the building. If you missed out on these 30 that my guy Ron put out there, hit the link. It's pinned up top. We definitely appreciate it, man. Spivey, yes, McCormick was very impressive. And imagine what he can do with with more reps than 12 reps. He had 12 carries for 64 yards. He averaged 5.3 a clip, a long of 17. Imagine giving him the football, 16 to 20 times and what can potentially happen. I'm excited. I think that he has showed these past few weeks that you can't keep him off the football field. I don't care if Zeus is back healthy, if Alexander Madison is back healthy. Feed Sincere McCormick. He is the best running back that you have on this roster. And he's definitely going to get a game ball. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Salute the Clone Avenger. Kelsey went straight to the locker room after the game. Bum. Facts. Facts, man. Facts. Facts. Salute to my guy, man. My boy Darcy in the building, my brother. Raiders offense outplayed us. Chiefs just so unserious. If Carlson made one of those kicks, we would have been cooked. And this is coming from a guy that covers the Chiefs, that actually works in the building for the Chiefs, man. Salute to my guy, Darcy. I know we were talking a lot in the DM, and we're going to talk on Tuesday at the AFC West Roundtable, but salute to my dog, Darcy, for keeping it 100, just keeping it real, man. He said the Raiders offense outplayed us. Chiefs they're just so unserious. If Carlson made one of those three, game is over. You win by one. Salute to my guy, Darcy, man. I'm excited to hear your take on this game Tuesday. If you guys aren't subscribed to my dog, man, make sure you subscribe to my dog, man. Salute to Jorge. Did the Georgia Tech game boost Beck's stock? I mean, what did he have? He had 5 touchdowns, Jorge, I believe. He only had like 230 or 250 yards in the air, I believe. He doesn't really have a lot of weapons, man. I was looking at those stats from the wide receivers. Nobody really took – it was like I think their leader had like 50 yards receiving, somewhere along those lines. So he doesn't really have a lot of weapons out there, but that was a crazy game, man. Was it eight overtimes? Georgia Tech was leading 17-0 at the half, man. And I like that young running back from Georgia Tech. He's a dog. He was balling in the first half. But I think it definitely boosts his stock. And I also think that it puts people like me in my place because I've been tough on Carson Beck. But to see the weapons that he has and what he's working with, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. You know what I mean? Salute to Carson Beck. And I definitely think that game boosts his stock a little bit going into the draft. And it keeps them in the college playoff hunt. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing for Beck. That's only going to raise his stock as well going into the draft. Salute to Kenny, man. Make sure y'all pull up to Wasters Live in support of St. Kenny. It's here. It's here. The live is here. Now, our brother Wasted may be here, but the live is here, brother. Appreciate you on the $5 holler, man. Salute to Two Stocked, my dog. I really think we need to consider keeping AP at this point. Our team has been injured from day 0, and he still has this team playing hard at 2-10. Two Stock, you guys know how I feel about AP, man. There's been a lot of questionable decisions this year, a lot, and one of them starting with the fact that he brought in Luke Getsy as his offensive coordinator. I know he leaned, on Devontae with that decision, because that was Devontae's guy from his time in Green Bay. But there's a lot of questionable decisions outside of clock management, game management, not playing Sincere up to this point, knowing your ground game was struggling early on, getting away from the young pups. I think that he should have gave them an opportunity early on. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is this, Andre James got hurt, right? He's not getting his job back. That's JPJ's job, okay? Do the same thing here with Alexander Madison and Zamir White. And no knock to those guys. I hope that, they're successful in everything that they do. But this time, you learned, right? Andre James is not a better center than JPJ. I don't give a shit what happened on that last call yesterday. He's the better center. He's going to be a future all-pro guy at the center spot. Don't fuck this up. Keep Sincere out there. If you're going to keep Amir Abdullah as your third down back, great, cool. He's been productive for us, even though I would like to see Dylan get involved a little bit more in the run game. I know the fumble situation. I know he muffed one yesterday, which is not good for his chances to see some reps at the running back position, but just make sure to not make this – don't make this more trickier than what it needs to be. We need to see if Sincere can be a guy for us moving forward. We know what Zeus is at this point. We know what Alexander Madison is at this point. Let Sincere McCormick be your workhorse back going into the offseason, and then we have some questions. At that point, is he the guy? Remember this also, you guys. Why did Zeus win the number one running back position? Why? Why was he number one? Why was he our running back one going into the season? Why? Because of that stretch of games that he had last year when Josh Jacobs got hurt, right? The last 4 or 5 games where he had, I think, 400 yards on the ground. That is the reason why he won the job last year. Give Sincere McCormick the same opportunity this year to see what you have, because you may not have to go get a running back early, which I have us taking one in the 2nd or 3rd round. You may not have to do that. If Sincere is the guy, you can go get one in the mid rounds, 4th, 5th, 6th round, and have him come in and battle with Sincere, and potentially even bring in a veteran in free agency. I don't know how they attack the running back position, but allow this kid to have the same effect as Amir did last year. Let him finish this season out, see what you have with him, and then maybe, just maybe, that's not one hole that you have to fill in the draft early, or maybe even in free agency. Simple and plain. I mean, this shit, the thing is this, you guys, this shit ain't Chinese arithmetic. This shit ain't rocket science. It's easy. Run game doesn't work with Zamir and Alexander Madison. It's been working with Sincere McCormick and Amir Abdullah. So why stray away from that? If Sincere doesn't at least get 15 reps against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm going to be pissed, and I'm going to take this coaching staff. I'm just going to think they're so unserious at this point. Feed that kid. Feed him. See what he has. Allow him to go out there and get 15, 16, 17 reps against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had what? How many did he have in the last week? I think he had 4 or 5 reps. So he had 9. He's slowly climbing up, right? Getting more reps. Feed that man. Feed him. And if he's not the guy, good. Now we know he's not the guy. But if he is the guy, then he is the guy. And he's cheap. Undrafted guy that we brought in, the previous regime. It's a win-win. Salute to Two Stock once again, my brother. I will say, I thought it was strange AP gave the starting job to Zeus based on last year, but didn't give the same respect to Aiden. Kid literally won the job. What's funny, man? A lot of people point out that, AP had, and I've heard from people in the building that he had more power than a lot of people assumed. I think that was a collective decision. I do believe that AP wanted Aiden to be the guy, period. I think that he wanted him to be the starter from week 1. I think that Luke Getsy said, I think Gardner Minshew will run my system better, and said, AP, just think about this. I think, they all came together as a unit, and I think he was kind of overruled in a sense. If AP would have had his way, Aiden O'Connell would have been the guy week 1. There's a reason why AP kept the job last year. Aiden O'Connell. He was one of the bright spots that ended up keeping this man's job outside of the defense playing phenomenal and then Zeus playing lights out at the end of the season. Aiden was one of the guys that allowed AP to go from interim head coach to full-time head coach. And we still don't know what that contract looks like, but at the end of the day, Aiden played a major role in why AP got this job. So honestly, dog, I don't think it's a respect thing. I think that he wanted Aiden. I think there's talks behind the scenes with him and Aiden like, man, I knew you could do this the whole time. You know what I mean? But when you have so many veterans in the building, when you have a Marvin Lewis, a Joe Philbin, then you had Luke Getsy, you have, other guys in the building that are like, yo, go with the veteran, go with the proven veteran. I think that AP got overruled. And once again, as a head coach, you have to be able to make those kind of decisions. And this is just me speculating, you guys. But what I've been told was he has a lot more power to run that offense and do whatever he sees fit. You know what I'm saying? We've had shows where I've had to delete off of YouTube because I said too much. We talked about the communication and so on and so forth. And I respect my sources, so I took the live down. But I will state that AP has some power. I just think that I wish he would have overruled them from day one if that was the case. But I think this is a situation where, hey, we lost a ton of ball games now. Now we can go get a young quarterback in next year's draft. If you play Aiden from day one, we probably wouldn't have had an opportunity to do so. Salute to Two Stock, man. Appreciate you, brother, for all the love and support you're showing the channel, man. Appreciate you, King. Hey, Sider, bro, it's easy to say you wanted Jaden Daniels. It's easy to say you wanted Cliff Kingsbury. It's easy to say that, right? But it's not easy to make both of those happen. You know, in what world were the Commanders trading out of the top 3 and lose out on a Jaden Daniels? That team has been needing a quarterback for many moons, and they got one. They got their future. They weren't moving on from that pick. I don't understand what you guys wanted Tom Telesco to do at that point. You know, and if Tom is being honest and transparent with Cliff Kingsbury and these guys are stating, hey, you know, we're going to get a veteran guy, you know, this year. It's going to be a bridge year, and we're going to go get our guy next year. Cliff Kingsbury made the right move for him and his family. I'm going somewhere else to the Commanders, and now he may get a full-time head coaching job next year with Chicago with Caleb Williams or another team. So I think we got to take a little pressure off of, you know, that decision there, because 13-3, that's a lot. That is a lot. 10 moves or 10 pieces in front of you. That's a tough jump. So to Hug, one, if not the best DTs in the league, switch positions to get after AOC. Let that sink in on how good JPJ is as a rookie. We talked about that yesterday. We're wasted. Facts, man. They lined him up on DJ Glaze. And guess what? All his production came from that side of things. JPJ, they had to keep that man away from him. JPJ, dog, he is a pest, a powerful pest. That's what JPP stands for. Jackson, powerful pest. Quote me on that. Salute to my brother Hug D's. Hey, I'm going to send you guys the link too if you guys want to pull up tonight on the show, bro. Would love to have you. Salute to Jorge. Sanjit had a good point. Saying if AOC plays like he did yesterday, we could just build around him and possibly trade Travis Hunter or Genty, any player that improves the team. I disagreed with Sanjit. I disagree with him. I do not want to go in the next season with Aiden O'Connell at the quarterback position. Simple and plain. If you take Travis Hunter, you better end up with one of those other quarterbacks in the second round, and you better end up with a Sam Darnold or one of these veteran guys to come in. I do not want to go in the next season with Aiden O'Connell at the quarterback position. At most, have him go in and fight, have him compete for that spot. But if you're rolling in the next season with AOC at the quarterback position, I'm going to tell y'all now, man, it's going to be another fucking tough season. And that's no knock to Aiden O'Connell. I'm just stating the obvious here. Simple and plain. I disagreed with him on that point. Salute to Jorge, my dog. Lil Tiger, I mean, that definitely would be what it is anyway. Definitely, if you draft Shedeur, you're probably gonna keep Aiden anyway if he continues to play the way he's playing. You know, like I said a few weeks ago, I thought with him being on the IR, I didn't even expect Aiden O'Connell to even play another down this season. I thought that they were going to sit him and just say, you know what, let you get healthy and we'll figure out what we're going to do with you next year. But, you know, with Gardner Minshew going out for the season and Desmond Ridder looking like the way he's looked in those short instances of seeing him on the football field, I think it was like, we got to go with Aiden. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, you guys. I'm seeing a lot of people stating, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns. There was a lot of throws that could have went the other way. He threw some gimmies yesterday. And I'm not taking away from the performance that Aiden had, but I'm seeing a lot of people saying he's our future and he's this and he's that. Like, I championed Aiden. I wanted him to be the guy this year because I thought he was the better option. But he's not. I don't think he's going to be the future at the quarterback position at all, man. I just, I think people are tweaking right now doing this from one performance, against the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday. I understand that we want to be optimistic about this team, but I think people are getting way ahead of themselves, calling Aiden the guy moving forward. Let's just see what he does against Tampa Bay. Let's see what he does against Atlanta. Let's see what he does against Jacksonville, New Orleans, and the Chargers. Let's see what he can do these next 5 games, and then maybe we can determine where he is in the grand scheme of things in the quarterback room. But I'm not jumping the gun here and stating that Aiden O'Connell was going to be the guy of the future. That's just insane. That's insane. Salute to my guy Snipe in the building. Morning Graphk. I know the fan base loves Sanders, but with AOC, we will win more games than the Giants. Giants will likely take Sanders. I agree with you, Snipe. I said it on Twitter yesterday that I think that Aiden's going to win a few games. I do. And then we're going to have to figure out what we're doing here at the quarterback position. Unless, Dion is going to pull Eli and say, look, my son needs a drop. That's a scary thing to have to depend on. in terms of going to get Shedeur, right? But I don't think the Giants win another game. They look terrible on both sides of the football. They're already on the next season. And, the way we've been performing these past few weeks, it's clear that we're still competing. We're still trying to fight, and that AP's not trying to lose ball games. You could see it yesterday. AP was not trying to lose that game. There were instances, you guys, where I seen AP on the side looking like he wanted to cry. And that's no knock on AP at all. He looked like he wanted to cry when Carlson missed those kicks. He looked like he was ready to just give up. He looked like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Our kicker, one of the most sure players on this roster, missed some kicks. He looked upset. He looked pissed. AP's trying to win some ball games, y'all. He's trying to win some ball games. Do we get rid of that? Hey, Sammy, that's above my pay grade, my brother. That's above my pay grade. Would I be shocked if he got another year? I would not be. It just depends on who they bring in as the coordinators. But if I had my way, I'm looking at an upgrade. My way, personally, if I can go get a head coach to come in and be an upgrade over here, I'm looking at Ben Johnson if he's available. I'm looking at Mike Vrabel if he's available. I'm looking at some of these other guys that could potentially come in and turn this thing around quicker than an AP. Salute to Ant. If we made our 3 field goals yesterday, then the fumble wouldn't have mattered. AOC played great, but it's just unfortunately one bad play that just ruins the whole game. Well, Ant, there was numerous plays. I don't think one play ever determines a football game, ever. I don't think that one play, if it ain't the tuck rule, right? But there's so much more that went into that. There's just so much more that goes into it. It's never, to me, it's a rarity to see one play determine a football game. There was some questionable calls from AP. There was some questionable decisions, from Patrick Graham and the looks that he was throwing on the defensive side of the ball. I think there's more than just that last split decision that happened at the end of the game with Parham, patting JPJ on the back, Aiden not expecting the football to be snapped. I think there's more than just one play that ruined the ball game. But Daniel Carlson's 3 misses definitely play a major role in why we lost that game yesterday. And to be honest, Ant, let's just keep it real, you guys. If Daniel Carlson doesn't miss those 3 kicks, probably would have just took a knee there, threw the ball down, and just kicked it from there. If your kicker, even if he was 2 for 3, I think the confidence would have been there. He would just say, hey, Carlson, go out there and win this ball game for us. So, there's so much that goes into this. You know what I'm saying? But I have to call out AP, dude. The terrible, terrible decision. If you guys watched his presser, what he said was just kind of unforgivable to me, man. Like, the plan was for Aiden O'Connell to go out there, snap the football, and throw it out of bounds to take 5 seconds off the clock, and then we were going to kick the field goal. AP. There were so many more ways to get that done. There was so many other opportunities to knock 5 seconds off the clock if you wanted to. You don't have to snap the football in a rowdy Arrowhead, the loudest building in the NFL outside of Seattle. There's so many other ways that you can do that. You already know there could have been some miscommunication. That's the loudest building in the NFL. You understand how hard it is to hear Aiden? And this is his first game with JPJ at the center position, you guys. The first game. So there's already communication having to be learned on the fly with them in real time. Why hike the football, snap the football in that situation just to throw the football away to kill 5 seconds? What in the fuck were you thinking, AP? That is nasty fucking work. That's nasty work. Disgusting. Come on, man. Like, I can't eat that. I can't eat that decision. That's terrible. That's terrible, man. Especially with your quarterback who's coming off of a hand injury to his throwing hand. And once again, a rookie center who's developing chemistry with his young signal caller in Aiden O'Connell. How does that make any sense? When I heard AP say that, y'all, I got to keep it real, man. The impulsive Graphk kicked in like, fire him. Let him go. Let him go. Bye. Fireable offense. Get him out of here. Then I went back, looked, seen some things. I said, okay, AP called an okay game. But when it mattered the most, he made a split second decision that affected this team and affected us for potentially being able to win that ball game. Do I think that Carlson would have went out there and made it? I don't know. Personally, 0-3 on the road, long field goal, I think he would have missed it. I'm going to keep it a buck here. Either way is what it is. We got a loss. But terrible decision from AP. And once again, man, the refs did their due diligence as well. You know, I don't know what you guys seen, but if you go back and you look at that play, there's a ref on top that is calling. He's calling false start. This is a dead ball situation. We should have had another down there to be able to kick the football or whatever the hell we're going to do. That should have been a dead ball. We should have had another opportunity to go out there and score. Simple and plain. The refs did not do their job. They found another way to give the Chiefs a ball game at the end of a game. Simple and plain. If you watch it, there's tape out there right now, you guys, where the ref is on top doing this. Then they have a discussion. They change it, give the ball to the Chiefs. They run the clock out. Game is over. So the end of that game was just nasty in general. Do you trust Carlson at that point? Maybe, maybe not. AP snapping the football for Aiden O'Connell to throw the ball, and then the refs calling a legal formation, but one of them is signaling false start on the top of the screen. And they don't call it a dead ball when clearly it sounded like the whistle was blown and the flag was thrown. That should have been a dead ball situation. The Raiders should have had another opportunity to go out there and try to win that football game. So, it is what it is, man. But yeah, AP, that was a terrible, terrible, terrible call from you offensively to have your young guys go out there and just throw the ball away to kill 5 seconds. That's nasty, nasty work. Salute to Two Stock. Aiden gives us the ability to keep drafting guys like Bowers. Think about it. How much better AOC will become with more reps with the Turners. Well, we'll see. You got 5 games right now, right, to prove what him and the Turners can do together if he can stay healthy. So we shall see. To be determined, Two Stock. Salute to the 800 people in the building. You guys wipe them feet, man. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Salute to Junior. Let's just draft a quarterback. It's just like Zeus' situation, a few games. Good numbers makes us feel good about the position. We need to upgrade to compete. Junior, my brother, I appreciate you, and you are right, King. You have to upgrade that position. Go get a quarterback there in the top 3. Salute to my guys. Salute to Jose. No matter what, Graphk, we need to move on from AP. Coaching matters. Look at Chicago. They had the number 1 pick and got Caleb. Need more than a quarterback and a top pick. Yeah, man, Caleb has been put in a fucked up situation this year, man. They move on from his OC. They were struggling to move the football, struggling to score. They have a head coach that's incompetent as hell that should have called a timeout at the end of the game to allow the Bears another opportunity to win. He was essentially, eventually fired. They moved on from him. But, hey, man, it's going to be interesting to see what options are available out there if they decide to kick the tires on a new head coach. Jose, my brother, appreciate you, man. Salute to Money Main, my dog. Ward over Sanders. Sanders hasn't played any top schools. Take Ward, Higgins, veteran running back, veteran O-line. Offense will be fire. Get rid of AP. Get Ben Johnson. Let me ask you this, Money Man. Who's Cam Ward play? If you don't mind me asking. Let's have a debate here. Who has he played? You play who you play, right? You're in a conference. You play specific teams. It's going to be interesting to see how Colorado looks these next few weeks moving forward. But I'm just asking you, who have they played? Who has Miami played? They lost to Georgia Tech. They've lost 2 games, I believe, right? Is it 2 or 3 now? Who have they played? Because we could play that game with him too. I'm just saying. But salute to you. Salute to my dog. And I agree with you on getting Ben Johnson. I agree with you on getting Higgins. A veteran running back, it'd be interesting to see who's available. And a veteran, add some linemen as well. Definitely in the offseason, for sure. For sure. Salute to my dog, Money Man. Let me see. Yeah, and Peyton, I would too. I would be fine with either one of them. This is not me saying I don't like Cam Ward, you guys. You guys know early on in the season, Cam Ward was my favorite number 1 option at the quarterback position in this year's draft. I mean, money, I get that. I'm not taking away from some of the talent that he's played. I'm just talking about the teams that he's faced. I understand that there's a lot of talent out there. I get it. I understand. Salute to Terry, my dog. Hey, and Marty, it was funny, bro. I swear I was just going to mention that. Josh Allen, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, played in Wyoming. And we can go down the line of some of these guys that played at the where they played at the collegiate level. We can go down the line. You know, everybody's not going to be a Burrow, played at LSU and SEC, and you know what I'm saying. And there's not going to, you know, there's some guys out there that have played in so-called lower conferences that are playing pretty well at the NFL level. I don't care how good AOC is the rest of the year. We still need to draft a quarterback to compete. Talk that shit, my brother. Talk. Salute to Terry on a $5 special. Let me see. Ward is proving same quarterback when he was at Washington State. Flipped Miami from worst to first in the ACC. He's a phenomenal talent, Jason. This is not me knocking Cam Ward at all. I just have a preference. I just prefer Shedeur over Cam Ward, but either one I'll be good with. Either one, I'm cool. Look, Jeremy. And for a second there, he was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Right? Further proving my point. Salute to Jeremy. Salute to Wilder. I think the real reason why some fans don't like Shedeur is because of his father. That's why people are coming up with these excuses. Let's keep it a buck. Can I keep it real with you guys real quick, Wilder? Can I be honest? And this isn't to every one of you guys. I promise you, man. And I may get a few people that unsubscribe from me because of this shit. And that's cool. That's cool. A lot of people that beat up Shedeur about being a problem and problematic, they give me racist. They give me racist vibes, bro. They really do, Wilder, because they never have any real input when it comes to football. This kid has never been locked up, never been in any real trouble, right? Yeah, he pushed a ref or some other shit. Yes, he wears chains. They give me real racist vibes, bro. That they really give me that race. It's like they give me racist vibes. Well, they never really got no money or no pussy before. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, sorry to those kids that are watching right now. They give me racist vibes, or you ain't never really got no money or got no ass before. I'm just keeping a buck here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shedeur is out here balling. He's balling. He got chains, NIL deal. He's cooking right now. Man got a motherfucking cyber truck and all kind of shit. I get it. Y'all hating on the kid because he out here with all kinds of money in college. In college. That's just some hatred, bro. That's some hatred. That's just hatred. Like, real talk. And I feel like a lot of that is kind of like some racist undertones with people disrespecting Shedeur Sanders. Simple and plain, man. It just is what it is. You don't have to like Shedeur. You can say, hey, Graphk, I'm not a fan of his game. Cool. Then we can have a conversation about why you don't like his game and he holds on to the ball too long. Shit like that. That's cool. We can talk about that. We can definitely talk about what you see on tape and why you don't like him and why you don't think he should be a top option. Respect. But when you say, oh, he's a problem, he's problematic, you know, he's going to come in and make everything about him and this and that, bro, you sound like somebody that ain't never had no money before and ain't never got no ass before, bro. That man is out there living a dream right now, knocking down chicks that a lot of y'all wish you would have, your dream girls, driving every whip that you wanted to drive, every chain. The hate is real. And I'm old enough to remember when people hated Deion for the same shit. I remember. And this is before the internet. This is before the NIL deals and all that. I remember must be the money Deion Sanders. Chains galore. Atlanta Falcons Deion. I remember I was there for it. I remember the hatred that he got. So, you know, but if you want to hate a guy for his watch, his chain, that's cool, man. I have an idea who you really are. You know what I mean? And I don't really fuck with you. like that. So, it is what it is. Salute to the chat, man. And salute to Wilder, my dog, on a $10 special, man. Let's give away some game balls, you guys, and let's get some what the fucks. Real talk. I want to give Max Crosby one. They gave him a sack, which I'm going to be honest, I thought Chasen should have had that. Chasen created that play. I know Max ended up falling on Mahomes to get the sack. They gave Max one. I felt like Chasen should have had 2.5. But either way, I love to see Max put one back up in that department. Max had a phenomenal game. He was all over the place, doubled, tripled. His motor was on full display. He was opening up a lot of opportunities for Chasen, for Tyree, and these other pass rushers to generate some pressure on Patrick Mahomes. We know the Chiefs are a different story for Max Crosby. You know what I'm saying? He's always going to be out there, maximum effort every week, but the Chiefs just mean that much more. When AP says that red team, he sees blood. I got to give Max a game ball, man. He absolutely went out there and cooked. I mean, there was no real answer for him, man. He was just out there just all over the place. 4 total tackles, 3 solo. He had a sack. He had 2 tackles for a loss. He had 4 QB hits. Max was in rare form yesterday. On the defensive side of the ball, we're going to stay there. Got to give Chasen one. Got to tackle for a loss. 3 QB hits. He had a sack and a half. He had 1 solo tackle. He had 3 total. But one thing about him, man, he was all over the place. 2 bad penalties. He has to bring those down. Just a young kid. You could tell he's out there excited to play ball. Getting really an opportunity, coming off that practice squad from Carolina, coming over. Another massive hit from Tom Telesco. You guys have to give Tom Telesco some credit for bringing in Chasen once being cut from the Carolina practice squad. That was a great move from him. Another guy I want to give, he was like an unsung kind of hero and it didn't jump off the stat sheet at all. But I want to give Jonah Lalu some credit. Our defensive tackle, man. Give him some credit. Number 96, 3 tackles. He had a pass defense. He was all over the place. Yesterday, man. It seemed like every time I turned around, Lalu was in. He was in on the play. I got to give him one. I have to, even though the production isn't insane, got to give him one. Got to give Zach Carter a game ball as well. The veteran that came over, former Cincinnati Bengal, defensive lineman, 2 total tackles, 2 solo. He also had a sack, and he had a QB hit. Played really well for us yesterday. Clear cut in the passing game. You know what time it is, you guys. Brock gets 10 receptions, 140 yards, targeted him 14 times along a 33. He also had a touchdown, averaged 14 a clip yesterday. Brock Bowers, this rookie is just playing absolutely out of his mind. Bonkers. Brock Bowers is probably going to get a game ball every week moving forward, man. Phenomenal day from our young pup. Jacoby, 6 receptions. He was targeted 11 times, 97 yards. He averaged 16.2 a clip. He also had one for 43 yards. You have to give him one. And then also, man, you got to give Trey Tucker. Once I knew Aiden was going to be the quarterback, I knew at one point, and I called it before the game, I said, it's coming. You're going to see that deep ball threat on full display. And guess what happens? 1 reception, 58 yards, a touchdown. He was only targeted once, but he took advantage of that 1 target, 58-yard touchdown. Gotta give him his credit. You know what? I'm going to give another unsung hero award. Michael Mayer, man. I know people don't, you look at the stat sheet. He really didn't do shit. He had 1 reception for 5 yards. He was targeted twice. That man was blocking his ass off. He was blocking his ass off. Everywhere, it seemed like he was chipping away here, blocking in the run game. You got to give Michael Mayer, man, a kid that is a former second-round pick that was highly, highly touted out of Notre Dame. I know he wants to get more active in the passing game, but he's took full advantage of being on the football field in the blocking game. And it's going to take some time. We'll see him eventually get lit in the, in terms of the passing game as well. But that kid has been blocking his ass off. Give Michael Mayer an unsung hero award, and then 2 other game balls. It's just simple mathematics here, you guys. Give Aiden O'Connell one. We talked about at the beginning. He had over 300 yards. First quarterback to do that against this Kansas City Chiefs defense all season long. 340, averaged 9.7 a clip, 2 touchdowns, no picks, was sacked 3 times, 23 for 35. So he had a phenomenal game for us. And then Sincere McCormick, my young pup, had a great great game. 12 carries, 64 yards, average 5.3 a clip. Give sincere McCormick more opportunities moving forward. He deserves every opportunity. And then another unsung hero. I'm going to give one more. That's to Amir Abdullah. Okay. Yeah, he had 10 carries for 39. He averaged 3.9 a clip. He was okay in the ground game, but he was also very, very active in special teams. In the kick return, he had 1 for 68, right? That essentially set us up to go down there, potentially put up 7. 68-yard return from him. You can even give DJ Turner an unsung hero award. He had 2 kick returns for 49 yards. I love to see these guys getting active in terms of the special teams. So unsung hero, give Amir Abdullah 1 and give DJ Turner 1 as well. That's what I have for this team this week. If you want, you guys, you can go ahead and give Scott Turner and Norv Turner 1 if you want. Offense starting to show signs of life, right? You can do that. I mean, give an unsung hero award if you like. I can agree with that. The offense has been a lot more enjoyable with them calling the shots. That's cool. Sean, and this is coming from somebody, man, that I almost took the bait initially. I'm like, can Shedeur work in Vegas? And that was my fault, was I didn't do my homework on this kid. I really wasn't watching, what Shedeur can do. I even had a question like, can Shedeur work? I've said it on this live before. I think when the season first started, like, can he be the guy in Vegas? I don't know. Is it going to be a me situation? And then you sit back and you do your homework and you really analyze, and then you watch the tape, you watch the film, you see how much of a great teammate he is. And then it's just easy to fall in love with the likes of a Shedeur Sanders. I think he'll be a great leader on and off the field in Vegas. And I think that he's built for the lights. Sean. That's why I think he would be a phenomenal option in Las Vegas. He can carry that weight. Imagine all the weight he's had to carry at Jackson State and Colorado, all the noise already. He's used to it. He's going to come into the NFL and already be built for it. The noise may get a little louder, but will it be that much louder? The shit that him and his dad had to endure from Jackson State to Colorado already is unnecessary ass bullshit. He's built for it. That's another reason why I'd be excited for him to come in, man, and be the guy. Our first 3 picks should be quarterback, running back, O-line. I agree, X. That third round, I would probably look at O-line or wide receiver there. I agree with you. I agree, X. That is a phenomenal order, my brother. Salute to you. Salute to Laser as well on a $5 special. Keep AP. People act like you can't get better with experience. Let AP, Telesco, PG, and Scott Turner continue to build this thing. Salute to my guy, Laser D Raider on the 888. I love that. I think I've seen that once before, and I think it was you. I don't know what it is with the 888, but I love it. Salute to Laser, man, my dog. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to Samuel. If we get Vrabel, who should be our OC? It just depends. It depends. I mean, will Brian DeBall be available? Will he be available? Will the Giants fire him in the offseason? If they do, the Patriot connection. There's a connection right there with DeBall and Vrabel and Brady, right? I can see him coming in and calling the O. I wouldn't be against that. Maybe. But we're going to talk about more options for sure, Sam. Once the offseason comes around, when we start seeing people who are going to be available, we'll definitely do a whole bunch of shows revolving around potential offensive coordinators. But I would assume that if DeBall was available, maybe he'd be looking at him. Salute to the Familiar Kitchen. I appreciate you on a $2 special, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. AC says, give yourself a game ball, Graphk Raider. You are on the money about McCormick, man. Hey, man, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Salute to AC, my dog. Appreciate you, brother. There we go. I get it now. I like that. Laser talk. Raiders. What's some of you guys' takeaways from yesterday's game? Get active in the chat, you guys. Give me some takeaways, man. I mean, the Chiefs did not have a great game by any means. Aiden O'Connell outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes was not very efficient, 26 for 46. He had over 300 yards. He threw 1 touchdown. He only averaged 6.7 a clip. He was sacked 5 times. 5 times. Patrick Mahomes did not have a great game by any means. They couldn't run the football on us yesterday, you guys. 63 yards on the ground. We had 116. Pacheco, we thought him coming back, he was going to have this big game because we've been struggling to stop the run. 7 carries, 44 yards. And to be honest, 34 of that came on one run. Kareem Hunt, 7 carries, 15 yards. Crazy. Crazy how well we played the run. And keep it real, they had 3 receivers that pretty much took up most of the production. DeAndre Hopkins playing against a D. Cameron Richardson in his rookie year. He was getting obliterated. Was it baptism by fire in year 1? Hopkins, former All-Pro, 4 receptions, 90 yards. I mean, he was out there absolutely cooking D. Cam, and it's great. He's going to learn from this. Travis Kelce, 7 receptions for 68 yards. Kept both of them out of the end zone, though. Noah Gray, 4 receptions for 58. Kept him out the end zone. Xavier Worthy, 5 receptions for 54 yards. Kept him out of the end zone. The only passing touchdown they had was Justin Watson. That was it, 1 for 6. So, they had 306 yards, in the passing game. So, man, this was not a great game. We held these guys. We kept them modest yesterday. We kept them modest. We didn't look like a 2-10 team yesterday. We didn't. We looked like a team that was kind of on the uprise, even with all the injuries that we have right now and the questionable, offensive coordinators right now, with Scott Turner and Norv moving on from Luke and all the shit that we have to overcome right now. We didn't look like a 2-10 team. We didn't. I can hang my hat on that. Salute to Jose. Despite the horrible season, we are really fortunate we got Bowers. He's something special, Hall of Fame type talent. Any update on a DMAC interview? Jose, I'm still working on it, brother. I think you're talking about McFadden. A lot of these interviews that we're working on probably going to happen in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? Where there's not a lot going on. And a lot of these guys' schedules kind of, ease up a little bit. We usually save most of these interviews for the offseason. So, but we got some interesting ones on the way. Definitely. I reached out to him. Former great Ray Buchanan just hit me up. He agreed to pull up on the show. So it's going to be fun to have Ray Buchanan on. I've been working on getting Richie Incognito on, so there's something there probably in the off season, working on getting him on. So we're working on some interviews. Trust me, Jose, stay tuned. Be patient, my brother. We are going to have some phenomenal interviews probably in the next few weeks or so, once the season kind of slows down. Let me see. Hug, I'm waiting on the response, Hug. I'm waiting on a response, brother. Raider Ross, I have no idea why we're going out of the gun in that situation. I love that. That's another thing that I forgot to bring up that I had on my brain before we did this, Raider Ross. Why go into shotgun in that situation? Why is Aiden not under center? That is baffling to me. That is baffling to me. That is an AP and Turner's decision there. That is the thing where it's like, what are we doing? Why are you in shotgun with the game on the line when all you had to do was put Aiden under center? And if anything, even if there was a miscommunication there, he could have potentially just fell on the football. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Trav, I get it. I understand they may have sent the crib, but if you're just going to throw the football away anyway, they weren't even trying to run a play. Trav, they weren't even trying to run a play there. They weren't even trying to run a play. Apparently, according to our head coach, they were just trying to get the ball out, throw the ball out of bounds, take 5 seconds off the clock, and keep it moving. So I don't know. I'm so confused and so baffled by the way the end of the game just unfolded, man. It's nasty work. Raider Queen, I appreciate you, fam. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's all about the draft. We need to lose, but not look like we're losing. Last play was called and pulled off to perfection. Salute to my guy, Samuel, man. You know the plot. You know the plot, Samuel. Salute to my guy, man. Appreciate you, brother. I reached out to him too, 24. I reached out to Bruce Grakowski. I have. Waiting on a response. I've reached out to a lot of guys. So stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. And me and Stu talked the other night as well about really biting down on bringing on some former Raider greats and some other guys, the Jim Everetts of the world, the Mike Allstotts of the world. So stay tuned. In the offseason, we're going to have some fun. We're going to bring on a ton of interviews. It's some guys that are legends, some guys that maybe were underrated and weren't really looked at a lot. We're going to bring on a lot of different people in the offseason, so stay tuned. Jose, I agree. We're just better off kicking a field goal there instead of running another play. At that point, I mean, what are you doing? Are you afraid for Patrick Mahomes to have 10 seconds to operate with? I never understood that. I didn't get that. I really didn't get that. Jason, there's a reason why Justin hasn't come on. He's agreed to come on once he's going through the NFL concussion protocol, and getting his benefits and all that stuff. So there's a reason why Justin doesn't want to play around and he wants to make sure he locks everything down in terms of that before he comes on the podcast and talks his story. So stay tuned for that. But we've talked to him numerous times. Bro, him and Stu are hilarious together, y'all. I'm telling y'all now, if you can just be a fly on the wall and listen to Justin Fargas and Stu talk, that shit is hilarious. One of the funniest things in the world. Ray, we had Jacoby on. Jacoby's my guy. We can get him on anytime we want. Go look on the channel. We had Jacoby Ford on, me and Wasted. We had him on for, I believe, an hour and a half. Jacoby's a good dude. Hey, Travis, I can live with that. I can live with that. I can live with that, though. If that's the way that it's shaped out, cool. I can live with that. Honestly, instead of trying to attempt to throw the football away to give it away, I can live with making a field goal in that situation. If Kansas City came down and beat us, that's on us. Which I don't think it would have happened. I don't think that would have happened. Oh, Tiger, AP had never come on my show. And I'm okay with that. AP had never pull up on my show. And that's okay. That's okay. And I understand why. I get it. Respect. Yeah, but he'll never pull up over here. And that's no knock, to AP or nothing like that. I respect the man for sure, but he'll never pull up over here. Not you, DDT. Not you, AP. I'm talking about our head coach. By the way, happy birthday to Bo Jackson. Turned 62 today, man. Love it, man. Happy birthday to Bo Jackson. The greatest athlete of all time. If only that hip injury never happened against the Cincinnati Bengals, we would have probably seen the greatest running back of all time, the greatest athlete of all time, period. Sucks, man. But what could have been, right? But salute, man, to everybody here in the building. Once again, you guys, we will be doing a show tonight. Actually, not even tonight. In the next 4 hours, we're going to be doing we're going to be talking everything college football, all the games that are going on. We're going to be talking about WWE Survivor Series. We're going to send the link to a few of our members to have them pull up and come kick it. Some of my mob fathers. Me and Hammer should be live probably 4 or 5 hours. We're going to be doing a fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. The majority of our proceeds that we make today will go directly to the charity, you guys. We'll be sending it directly over. We will have a Cash App. The one right here, Graphk Raider, Venmo, and all that. Whatever money goes directly there, I'll send it directly over there. The other money, the supers and all that stuff, it's going to have to hold off until the 22nd of December in order to be able to distribute the funds. But if you guys want to come through and throw a couple dollars, it definitely helps. A few years ago, I ran up a couple $1,000s for him. Last year, I think we ran up about $700-800, I believe. So, I want to see if we can run up more money than that this year, man. I would definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely to a great cause. They send me mail every month, to the kid that the money that we sent in affected, and they keep giving us updates on the family. It's a beautiful thing. And I keep telling myself to do another one of these shows because I love the updates that I get in the mail. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. And salute to Familiar Kitchen, man. Respect everyone's opinions, but it will be smart to keep AOC. I see why. Hold on real quick, y'all. Hammer, I'm live right now, bro. Call you right back. Salute to Hammer. I see why AOC is not everyone's number one option because he is not a flashy dude. Salute to my guy. But I get it, though. AOC gets our defense healthy, get some more offensive weapons. I hear you, my brother. I just still think that we need an upgrade at the quarterback position regardless. Like real talk. But I appreciate you on the $10 special. And I definitely respect Aiden O'Connell and what he's giving to this organization. Definitely. I just know that if you can if you can upgrade that position, you need to. You need to. Salute to Mondo, that content. Salute to my guy. I appreciate you, brother. Real talk. Yo, pull up. We have to gather around and hug these kids, man. I love it. Hug it. I'm going to send you the link once me and Hammer put it up and go live. We'll send it over to you, to John, John, Jason, both of my fathers. I'm going to send it over to John, Jason, and a few of the other guys and see if they pull up and just shoot the shit and have some fun. But we're going to definitely be covering the Survivor Series. I'm hyped. I know The Rock is going to pull up out the end. I'm juiced about that. The family going to be in the background watching. We're going to have some fun today, man. And once again, it's for a good cause. So Christmas is coming up. We'd love to be able to give back somehow, some way. And I think with our platform that we have, I think we've built a strong enough community where we can, be able to garner up a few funds, man, and put it together, man, and send it off to a family in need. So with that being said, see you guys in a few hours. Make sure to keep an eye on YouTube. I believe 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific is when we shall pull up. So stay tuned. We'll be live for a while tonight. Love y'all. Appreciate you guys. And as always, man.
That's what I'm talking about.